Have you ever thought about the significance of the right shed design for your specific needs? In the world of sheds, a well-planned design is more than just a good idea. It's the cornerstone of functionality, aesthetics, and ultimately satisfaction. The importance of a well-thought-out shed design cannot be overstated. You see, a shed is not just a shed. It's a space that can serve a multitude of purposes. It can be a sanctuary for your tools, a haven for your hobbies, a storage solution, or even an extension of your living space. The possibilities are as diverse as the people who own them. But here's the thing, a shed that's perfect for one person may not fit the bill for another. That's where planning and choosing the right design comes into play. This process is a fine balance of considering various factors, including but not limited to the available space, the intended purpose, and of course the budget. Let's take space, for instance. A well-planned shed design makes the most of every square foot, ensuring that no space goes to waste. It optimizes storage, enhances workflow, and can even make a small shed feel spacious and organized. Next, we have purpose. The design of your shed should align with its intended use. A garden shed, for instance, will have a different design from a woodworking shop or a home office shed. The design should facilitate the function, whether it's storage, workspace, or a cozy retreat. And lastly, we must consider the budget. A good shed design provides the best value for your money. It balances cost-effectiveness with quality, durability, and functionality. It's about making smart choices, prioritizing what matters most, and knowing where to splurge and where to save. In the end, every element of a shed's design, from the layout to the materials, contributes to its overall functionality and aesthetics. It's about creating a space that not only meets your needs, but also appeals to your sense of style and personality. Remember, the right shed design can make a significant difference. So let's dive into the process. Before we delve into designs, it's crucial to understand your specific shed needs first. You see, the road to a perfect shed begins with a clear understanding of what you need from it. This understanding forms the foundation of your shed planning and design. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. You need to have the complete picture in mind before you can fit the pieces together. So what are the three key factors to consider? Purpose, space, and budget. Each of these factors plays a significant role in determining the final outcome of your shed project. Let's start with purpose. What do you want your shed to do for you? Will it be a storage hub for your garden tools and equipment? Or a cozy retreat where you can escape the world and indulge in your hobbies? Perhaps you need a functional workspace for your DIY projects, or an extra room for guests. Your shed's purpose will directly influence its size, style, and the materials you'll need. Next, consider the space you have available. The size of your shed will largely depend on the space you can spare in your backyard. Are you working with a compact urban garden or a sprawling rural landscape? Don't forget to factor in access routes, natural light, and the view from your shed. And remember, while it's tempting to fill an empty spot with a huge shed, it's vital to leave some breathing space for your garden to thrive. Now let's talk about your budget. Your financial parameters will dictate many decisions, from the shed's size and style to the materials and features you can afford. But don't worry if your funds are limited. You can still build a functional and attractive shed with careful planning and creative solutions. For instance, repurposing materials or simplifying the design can save you a significant amount of money without compromising on functionality or aesthetics. So how do these factors influence your shed design and planning? Well, they're like the ingredients in a recipe. Each one affects the final product. If you want a large, multifunctional shed, but only have a small space, you'll need to think creatively about multi-level designs or innovative storage solutions. If you're on a tight budget, you might have to prioritize essential features over luxury add-ons. And if your shed's purpose is to be a peaceful retreat, you'll want to consider factors like insulation, natural light, and aesthetics more closely. The key here is balance. It's about finding the sweet spot between what you want, what you have, and what you can afford. It's about turning constraints into opportunities for creative problem solving. Remember, a well-planned shed is not just about looking good. It's about serving your needs efficiently and effectively, whether that's storing your tools, providing a workspace, or offering a sanctuary. Once you've identified your needs, you're ready to explore the various shed designs available. And trust me, there's a world of possibilities out there waiting for you to discover. Now that we know what we need, let's explore the world of shed designs. Shed designs are as diverse as the people who use them. They can range from the very simple to the extremely intricate, each design catering to different needs and preferences. Let's start by looking at the three most common types of shed designs: the gable, the gambrel, and the lean-to. The gable shed is perhaps the most classic design, characterized by its A-shaped pitched roof. This design is popular due to its simplicity and versatility. The roof's steep pitch is perfect for areas with heavy rain or snowfall, allowing water and snow to slide off easily. With ample headroom, it provides plenty of space for storage or for setting up a workshop. Next, we have the gambrel shed, often referred to as the barn-style shed. This design is easily recognizable by its distinctive double-sloped roof, offering even more space than the gable design. The extra headroom and loft space make it an excellent choice for those who need a space-saving solution without compromising on storage space. The lean-to shed, on the other hand, is the simplest and most economical of the designs. It features a single sloping roof and is typically built against an existing structure. This design is ideal for those with limited space or who simply need a place to store gardening tools and equipment. But these are just the tip of the iceberg. There are countless other designs out there, each with their unique style and functionality. There's the salt box with its long sloping roof, the hip roof shed with its 4 sloping sides, or the modern flat roof design, perfect for those seeking a contemporary look. And let's not forget the corner shed, a space-saving solution that fits snugly into the corner of your garden. Now, when it comes to the size of your shed, this is largely dictated by two things: your needs and the space you have available. Sheds can be as small as 8 by 8 feet, perfect for storing your lawnmower and gardening tools. Or they can be as large as 12 by 16 feet, which would be ideal for those wanting to create a workshop or a home office. However, your shed doesn't need to be confined to these standard sizes. With a custom design, you can have a shed that fits your space perfectly. Whether that's a narrow but long shed to fit that unused side yard, or a small but tall shed to make the most of a compact space, the possibilities are endless. Remember, the design and size of your shed should be guided by its purpose. Are you looking for a simple storage solution? Then a small lean-to shed might be just what you need. Or perhaps you're a hobbyist needing a space to pursue your passion. In that case, a larger gable or gambrel shed with plenty of room for a workbench and storage might be more suitable. Moreover, your budget will also play a significant role in deciding the right shed design. While a custom, large-scale gambrel shed might be your dream, it may not be feasible if your budget is tight. But don't worry. With a bit of creativity and planning, you can still have a functional and aesthetically pleasing shed without breaking the bank. In the end, the perfect shed design is one that not only meets your needs, but also complements your home and garden. It should be a space that you love to use, whether that's a practical space for storage, a quiet retreat for hobbies, or even a bustling workshop for your latest projects. With a myriad of designs out there, it's about finding the one that best suits your needs. Having selected a design, the next step is planning. Now that we've got a clear vision of what we want our shed to look like, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty of planning. Let's break down this process into manageable steps. The first step in your shed design planning is to identify the materials you'll need. Materials play a significant role in the final look, functionality, and longevity of your shed. Depending on your selected design, you may need a variety of materials ranging from plywood and lumber to nails and screws, roofing materials, and paint or stains. If your chosen design is a classic wooden shed, you'll likely need pressure-treated lumber, plywood for the walls and roof, roofing shingles, and perhaps some paint or stain to give it a finished look. For a more modern metal shed, you may require corrugated metal sheets, metal framing components, and appropriate fasteners. Remember, the quality of your materials directly impacts the durability of your shed. Opt for materials that can withstand the elements, especially if you live in an area that experiences harsh weather conditions. Next, consider the placement of your shed. This is a crucial part of planning that is often overlooked. Where you place your shed can affect its usefulness, accessibility, and even its lifespan. Think about its purpose. If you're planning to use your shed as a workshop, you'll want it close to your house for easy access to tools and supplies. On the other hand, if it's going to be a garden shed, it might be better situated near your garden or greenhouse. Don't forget to consider the sun. A shed used for growing plants will need plenty of sunlight, while a workshop might benefit from shade to keep it cool. Also, consider the ground. A flat, well-drained area is ideal for a shed. If you're considering a sloping area, remember you'll need to invest in foundation work to ensure your shed is stable. The third step in planning your shed design is budgeting. This is where reality checks in. We all want the best, but sometimes we need to balance our desires with our wallet's capabilities. Start by making a comprehensive list of all the materials you'll need, along with their estimated costs. Don't forget to include the cost of any tools you might need to purchase or rent. Next, factor in any labor costs if you're planning to hire help. If you're going the DIY route, consider the value of your time. Building a shed is a significant undertaking that can take several weekends to complete. Once you have a clear idea of your expected expenses, compare it to your available budget. If the costs exceed your budget, you may need to adjust your plans. Perhaps you can choose a simpler design, opt for less expensive materials, or even reduce the size of your shed. It's important to remember that while it's possible to build a shed on a shoestring budget, cutting corners on quality can end up costing more in the long run. Investing in quality materials and proper construction techniques can save you from costly repairs or replacements down the line. In summary, shed design planning involves careful consideration of the materials, placement, and budget. By giving each of these factors due attention, you'll be better prepared to tackle the project and less likely to encounter unexpected challenges along the way. With a well-laid plan, you're one step closer to having your ideal shed. The blueprints are in your hands, and the journey to creating your perfect shed is well underway. So gear up, because next we'll be delving into the necessary approvals and checks before we begin the actual construction. Before you start building, remember to cross your T's and dot your I's. Now that we've covered the basics of shed design and planning, it's time to tackle a crucial factor that is often overlooked: necessary approvals and site checks. Yes, it might seem like a tedious task, but trust me, it's a step you don't want to skip. Firstly, the term necessary approvals refers to the permissions and licenses you need to obtain before you start construction. Depending on your location, this could mean getting a green light from your local council or homeowners association. You see, each jurisdiction has different rules and regulations when it comes to building structures like sheds. Some areas may require you to submit detailed plans of your shed design, while others might just need a simple application. It's important to check what applies to you to avoid any legal hiccups down the line. Remember, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Next, let's talk about site checks. This involves examining the area where you plan to build your shed. You need to consider factors like soil type, drainage, and access to sunlight. It's also important to check for any underground utilities or obstacles that might hinder your construction. If you're unsure about conducting these checks yourself, consider hiring a professional. They can provide you with a comprehensive site report, ensuring that your shed will be built on solid and safe ground. The bottom line is, these approvals and checks are not just about ticking boxes. They're about ensuring that your shed is legal, safe, and well suited to your property. So while it may seem like a hassle, it's an essential part of the process. Getting the necessary approvals and conducting site checks might require some time and effort, but think of it as the foundation of your shed project. After all, a strong foundation leads to a sturdy structure. With all the checks done, you're ready to start building. With everything in place, it's time to bring your shed to life. Building your shed is like embarking on a journey. It's an adventure that requires patience, precision, and most importantly, a well-laid plan. Just like any good adventure, the journey of constructing your shed will be laden with challenges, but the reward waiting at the end is worth it all. A shed tailored to your specific needs. So let's get started, shall we? The first step is laying the foundation. This is the bedrock of your shed. It's what keeps your shed stable and grounded. The key here is to make sure your foundation is level. An uneven foundation can lead to a lot of problems down the line, from doors that won't close properly to a structure that's unstable. So take your time here. Check and double check to ensure everything is as level as it can be. Next, we move on to the floor frame. This is where your shed starts to take shape. The floor frame is essentially the skeleton of your shed. It's what gives it structure and strength. Just like with the foundation, it's crucial that you ensure your floor frame is level. This is what will support the weight of your shed and everything inside it. Once your floor frame is in place, it's time to add the flooring. This is where you start to see your shed come to life. It's also where you'll start to see the benefits of all that careful planning. The type of flooring you choose will depend on the purpose of your shed. If you're planning on storing heavy equipment, you might want to opt for something durable like concrete. If your shed is going to be a place for relaxation, a softer material like wood might be more suitable. Now it's time to raise the walls. This is where things start to get exciting. You can see your shed taking shape and it starts to feel real. But remember, just because it's exciting doesn't mean you can rush through it. It's important to make sure each wall is secure and level before moving on to the next one. With the walls up, it's time to add the roof. The roof is what protects your shed and everything inside it from the elements. It's also what gives your shed its distinctive look. Whether you opt for a simple flat roof or a more complex gable roof, the key is to make sure it's secure. Remember, your roof has to withstand wind, rain, and possibly snow. So it's worth putting in the extra effort to make sure it's up to the task. Finally, it's time to add the finishing touches. This is where you get to let your personality shine through. Whether it's a fresh coat of paint, some stylish windows, or a decorative door, the finishing touches are what make your shed truly yours. Throughout the process, it's important to remember that building a shed is not a race. It's a journey. It's about taking your time, following your plan, and enjoying the process. It's about overcoming challenges and learning new skills. But most importantly, it's about creating a space that's uniquely yours. And there you have it, your very own shed, designed and built to meet your specific needs. As we wrap up, let's go over the key points we've discussed today. We've taken a deep dive into the world of shed design and planning, exploring the importance of understanding your specific needs before embarking on this journey. Remember, no two sheds are the same, and your shed should reflect your unique requirements, whether it's for storage, a workspace, or perhaps even a cozy retreat. We've explored an array of shed designs, from traditional to contemporary, small to large. We've seen how the design of your shed can complement your home and garden while also serving its primary purpose. It's not just about aesthetics, but also about practicality and functionality. So when choosing a design, always consider your spatial needs, the purpose of the shed, and of course your budget. Planning is another vital aspect we've discussed. A well-planned shed design ensures a smooth building process and a shed that stands the test of time. This includes considering the positioning of your shed, the type of foundation it requires, and the materials you'll use. Always remember to factor in natural elements like sunlight and wind direction. We've also touched on the importance of necessary approvals and checks. Before you start building, ensure you have the necessary permissions from local authorities. This is crucial to avoid any legal issues down the line. Also, always check for underground utilities before you start digging. Finally, we've talked about the actual building process. We've seen how, with the right plan, tools, and a bit of determination, you can build a shed that not only serves your needs, but also adds value to your property. In conclusion, shed design and planning is a process that requires careful thought and consideration. But with the right approach, it can be a rewarding and fulfilling project. Remember, a well-designed and planned shed can make a world of difference. Here's to building the perfect shed for your needs.